Hi, everyone, and welcome to the next episode in my fall series. I will have a link to the playlist in my description box below if you missed any previous videos. Today, we're going to create 5 fall DIYs using items from Dollar Tree. I hope you find tons of inspiration and enjoy today's video. For the first project, we're using this chunky thankful word from Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the hanger as well as those staples on the back and give it a nice sanding all over. Then I'm going to take some black chalk paint and paint the back part of the sign as well as the sides, the top, and the bottom. So you're going to paint everything black except for the very front. Once that dries, we're going to take some white chalk paint and very carefully go over just the front of the sign with one coat. This is going to be a nice base because we're going to be using some napkins that I found at Hobby Lobby. You have seen this in a previous project before. These are absolutely gorgeous. They have these beautiful sunflowers on it. So we're going to use 2 of these because one portion of it has some wording on it and I don't want the wording on my sign. So I'm going to line that up to determine how much of the napkin I need to trim down. And it is a 2-ply napkin, so you'll want to peel the backing off of it. Then we're going to take some Mod Podge and go over the top part of 1/2 of that napkin. Make sure you're using a wet paintbrush so that it will be nice and saturated and the Mod Podge won't dry up or thicken up on you. So I'm going to place that down at the bottom and then very carefully go over the top of the sign with another layer of Mod Podge. Then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and go in between the lettering, just cutting a slit in between all of those letters on the word, and then I'll cut any of the excess off around the top just to make it a little bit easier when we use our lighter to burn that up to the edge. So you want to do this when your Mod Podge is still wet so it doesn't burn the sign itself, it's just burning that napkin down. I started at the top and the bottom and then went in between each of the letters. Then I'm going to take that second napkin and line it up with the design with the first napkin and cut that excess off. We're going to do the exact same thing we did for the first half. We're just going to overlap it just a little bit to make sure that design is lined up with the first one. Since we are using fire, just make sure to be extra careful and to protect your work surface and also have some water nearby just in case. I'm actually just doing mine on a silicone mat, but you really want to make sure that whatever you're working on is not flammable. Now you could just let it dry as it is and use sandpaper, but I found that this was a little bit easier to get in between each of those letters. I did put a layer of Mod Podge on top and allow that to thoroughly dry. And then if there were any little small pieces that needed to be sanded, I could use a fine grit sandpaper to go over those. Now, it is not exactly perfect. It does have a few singe marks on it where maybe I held the lighter a little too close to the napkin, but I think it turned out beautiful. I love this buffalo check with these gorgeous sunflowers, and I would love to know what you guys think. For our next project, we're using one of these chunky leaf pieces from Dollar Tree. They are so pretty just as they are, so I'm going to leave that side alone. We're going to be working on the back side of it. I'm taking a chip brush and white chalk paint and just going over it in the direction that a leaf would normally go with the veins so that I can leave it with a nice distressed look. Now, I found these gorgeous leather pieces at Dollar Tree. It has a leaf that says grateful and a pumpkin that says thankful. You guys let me know if you found these at your Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the hanger at the top because it was looped through, and then I'm just going to stick one end through the hole at the top of the leaf, glue that down, and then I can flip that other end and glue it over. This is going to kind of cover up the hole. Then I'm going to position it on the leaf and hot glue it down. This was such an easy project to do, but I love how it turned out. You could lay this out on a table flat and it would be absolutely gorgeous with your other fall decor, or you can set it up on its side and display it that way. If you're enjoying today's projects and today's video and you haven't done so already, I would love for you to click that subscribe button right below this video and select all under the notification bell so you'll be reminded the next time I upload a brand new video. Now let's get started on our next project. For this one, we're going to use the leather pumpkin that says thankful, as well as some gorgeous beads that I found on Amazon. And I have this linked in my Amazon store in my description box below if you guys are interested. They have these beautiful buffalo check, black and white beads, and it also comes with some jute twine. I wrapped a piece of tape around the end of my jute twine so that it would make it easier for me to feed the beads on there. I'm going to go in a pattern of white, buffalo check, black, buffalo check, white. So it's going to be a buffalo check in between each one of the white and black beads. I made it about 2 foot long, and I removed the hanger from the leather pumpkin so that I'll be able to feed the jute cord through the hole and then tie that to the end of my bead strand. Then I can cut that excess off and push all those beads tight down to the leather pumpkin. While the jute cord is still on the strand, I'm going to unravel quite a bit so that I can wrap this around 4 of my fingers to create a tassel. I wrapped it about 16 or 17 times, and then I'm going to cut a smaller strand to be able to tie around the tassel at the top portion. So it's going to be a little less than quarter of the way from the top. You're going to double knot that and make sure it's nice and tight so it doesn't come apart. And then you can separate your loops at the bottom and cut those straight through. And then if you have any strands that are longer, like the piece that you use to tie around the top, you can trim that down to the size that you want for your tassel. I think this beaded garland turned out absolutely gorgeous. I love the neutral colors in it, and I love that leather and the brown tassel and how well it goes with the black and white. I can't wait to share with you all how well it looks with our next project. Using one of Dollar Tree's plastic Halloween buckets, I'm going to take some black chalk paint and give the entire outside a coat of this. This is really going to give it a higher end look with that matte finish rather than the shininess of the plastic. Then I'm going to fill the bottom with about 4 grocery bags or Dollar Tree bags and cover that up with some Dollar Tree Spanish moss. Then I found these gorgeous lamb's ear at Walmart. They come in a bundle of 2. I'm going to bend the stems over so that they'll fit nicely, tuck down into the side of the bucket. I'm going to put 2 on each side. And I'm also going to be using some gorgeous buffalo check and white pumpkins that I found at Hobby Lobby. Now, they come in a pack of 8 for around $7.99. I'm going to set these on top of the Spanish moss and use also some cotton from Hobby Lobby. And if you need to add some height to some of your pumpkins, you can just set that cotton right underneath. Then I'm going to use some pine cones on stems, and you have a gorgeous centerpiece or an accent piece, and it looks so beautiful with our beaded garland. This is something that you could set on a side table or as a centerpiece on your kitchen table. But I love how it turned out, and I'd love to know what you think. For this project, we're using one of Dollar Tree's wood planks, as well as some of their fall wood cutouts. You'll need 3 pumpkins and 1 leaf. I'm going to fill in all of those holes with some wood filler, let that dry, and sand each one of those down. Then I'm going to take some brown acrylic paint, mix that in with some water to create a stain, and go over each one of these pieces. Now, the wood plank, I did make sure to get all of the outside edges as well as some of the ends on the back because you will be able to see that. You're only going to need 1 coat and let that dry. Then we're going to use some of Dollar Tree's sticker letters. Now, I did not let my pumpkins or leaf dry well enough, so my stickers kept wanting to come up. So I just used my hair dryer to kind of activate the glue on the stickers, and that did the trick. That helped them lay down nice and flat. We're also going to be using this nice chunky hello word that I found at Walmart, and I'm going to give that a coat of black chalk paint. Now, I did make sure to paint the top as well as in between all of the letters and the outside edges. We're going to attach that to our wood plank, and we're going to do that with some hot glue, and I'm just trying to center it up on the wood plank. Then we're going to use this beautiful, already distressed sign from Dollar Tree. I love the colors on this one. We're going to line up our fall word in the center of the sign, and then we're going to take that hello sign and cover up the bottom portion of the star at the top. So I'm just securing all of these down with hot glue. Then we're going to create a bow for the top of this using some gorgeous wired ribbon that I found at Walmart. I'm going to fold that over to the length that I want the bow to be. Then I'll fold it over one more time, and I'm also going to use some of Dollar Tree's burlap ribbon. I'm going to do the exact same thing by folding it over, except I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than the orange. Then I can pinch these together in the center, and I will tie them in the middle with some jute cord. I'm just going to double knot that, cut the excess off, make sure that I fluff out the loops on my bow, and then I can glue this directly above the word hello. Then I'm going to use a couple of tiny pine cones that I already had in my stash and hot glue a couple of these right in the center of the burlap bow. And you can use the hanger that's already on your sign to hang this up. Now this is a gorgeous neutral fall piece with just a tiny bit of color at the top. I love how this one turned out, and it looks so good with our previous chunky leaf project. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found tons of inspiration. If you have a favorite, let me know in the comments section down below. I always love to know which one is your favorite. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me. Please take care, and I will see you guys next time.